Luo Feng sat on his throne and looked down at the numerous black figures kneeling before him. Thousands of special life forms were looking at him with surging emotions and worship. At that moment, a realization dawned on Luo Feng. These special life forms that seemed so uncommonly big and powerful shared a common grief: they were too weak and insignificant. Because of the lures of high levels of life and talent techniques, billions of races within the universe were taking matters into their hands to either enslave or soul transfer. A group of special life forms without a strong protector would be quickly torn apart by the vast numbers of races in the universe who were blinded by greed. Devoured. Back when Blood Cloud Palace Master ran rampant about the universe, there was still a substantial number of special life forms. When he saw these special life forms being hunted down and killed, his heart went out to them. So, group after group of special life forms he rescued, until finally, he had gathered a group that amounted to a few thousand special life forms. After countless years of growth, with Sitting Mountain Guest's guidance, there were the births of top-tier universe lords such as Black Sky Horde Leader, Silver Dragon Knight, and Black Thorn Devil Master. Back then, they would have probably met the fate of being hunted and killed. Of course, since that time long ago, any races of special life forms without protectors had long vanished along the historical river of the universe, which was why some ancient beings like Primal Chaos City Leader owned quite a few special life form bodies. However, as time passed, during the times of later generations such as Luo Feng's, it was rare to see special life forms due to soul transfer. Sitting Mountain Guest protected them, guarded them, guided them. He was just like a father to them, Luo Feng said to himself. No wonder they all call him master. They really respected and worshipped him from the bottoms of their hearts. As of today, thought Luo Feng, I am thus Blood Cloud Palace Master. I may have gained a new power, but I have also rid a part of Earth's. I have a new responsibility to take on. 3 top-tier universe overlords. This was indeed a force that many powers of the universe would covet. Especially Black Sky Horde Leader, whose godly powers were almost 100 times purer than those of Heavenly Young Knight. Though both were senior true treasure armors, Luo Feng needed a force that was 2 levels higher than what he used to kill Tian Young Knight in order to bring about the same attack power, and Black Sky Horde Leader's godly body was millions of miles larger. That was billions of times bigger than the godly body of Tian Young Knight, which was not even 30 feet tall. As for Silver Dragon Knight and Dark Thorn Devil Master, thought Luo Feng, their godly bodies were not as outrageously big, but neither were they small. With the 3 of them around, this force of special life forms they make up, so long as they do not cross paths with universe masters, will be able to ward off attacks from any other opponents. Luo Feng nodded as he analyzed the situation. Protecting such a force would not be as difficult as protecting his own kind on Earth. After all, this bloodline of special life forms had matured over countless years. They could protect themselves. A sudden realization dawned upon Luo Feng. The reason the treasure vault contained so many precious materials, treasures, and ordinary true treasures was because Luo Feng's future opponents would be universe masters. If he used ordinary true treasures in a battle against a universe master, they would be shattered right away. Obviously, these ordinary true treasures were not what Sitting Mountain Guest had left for Luo Feng, but for this group of special life forms. Black Sky, Luo Feng spoke. Master, Black Sky Horde Leader replied politely. Luo Feng looked down. The true treasures that all 18 of you possess. Tell me about them. Yes, Master. I have a senior true treasure armor, 6 senior true treasures heavenly hammers. Black Sky Horde Leader then joked good-naturedly, saying, Master, are you going to bestow me with a top-tier true treasure armor? Previously, you even said the next time around, you would find a way to get me a top-tier true treasure, and you told me that if I owned a top-tier true treasure armor, even universe masters will find it difficult to kill me. Luo Feng was taken aback. Top-tier true treasure armor? Teacher had left him with a treasure vault that only contained about 100 ordinary true treasures. Sitting Mountain Guest Teacher is so scheming, thought Luo Feng, grumbling to himself, but there was nothing he could do. Now that I have succeeded in the title of Blood Cloud Palace Master, the responsibility of designating valuables for the great beings under my command is also mine? I am thinking of a solution, Luo Feng answered. Top-tier true treasure armor is not easy to obtain. Yes, but Master will be able to make that happen, Black Sky Horde Leader said. Luo Feng quickly moved on. Next, Silver Dragon Knight, Dark Thorn Devil Master, and the rest gave respective reports about their own true treasures, and Luo Feng discovered that these 18 Universe Knights all possessed true treasures, which were obviously obtained based on their personal capabilities. For instance, the 3 top-tier Universe Overlords owned senior true treasures, and each of them owned a few true treasures. Luo Feng had initial plans to bestow true treasures to them. Thus, he had to banish those plans. In the end, he could only bestow some other undying special life forms with treasures before he concluded the meeting. This is a form of power, Luo Feng said to himself. Although I shoulder the responsibility of leading and guarding them, they can also help me with a lot of things. In the future, for my kind living on Earth, I would certainly be the one to protect them. Black Sky Horde leader, together with this group of special life forms and the branch of life forms on Earth, should be able to complement each other. That very day, Luo Feng ordered all these special life forms to retreat. And to Black Sky Horde leader, Silver Dragon Knight, and Dark Thorn Devil Master, he commanded. Black Sky, Silver Dragon, Dark Thorn, I need to make a trip out. Matters regarding those children in the ancient secret region. Please take care of them. If you all are unable to settle them, inform me. Yes, Master, all 3 replied through their tokens. That very day, Golden Horn Beast's body secretly returned to the human territory, back to his god country. Luo Feng's life had been divided into 2 parts. One of it took the form of a Golden Horn Beast and was involved in studying Star Tower based on his knowledge of pictures of secret engravings, while the other took the form of an Earthling original body and stayed on Redbud Island for self-cultivation. His original Earthling body had started to cultivate the 8th volume of the 9-volume manual. The advantage of having a small godly body was that the rate of cultivation would be much faster. After about a year or so, Luo Feng had mastered the 8th volume. His life gene level increased from 9,800 times to 10,050 times, and this was purely a rough gauge estimate. Thereafter, Luo Feng moved on to mastering the 9th volume of the 9-volume manual. During the cultivation process, his life gene level increased at an extremely slow rate, especially when he was midway through. Suddenly, his life gene level arrived at its bottleneck. It stopped increasing when it was 1 final inch away from the perfect life gene level. No matter how he continued with the 9-volume manual, his life gene level would not budge an inch. Just a little bit more. Remote Ocean Body and Golden Horn Beast Body reached the perfect gene level right away, but my Earthling body still needs the last bit to reach the perfect life gene level. No matter how I try to start cultivating the 9th volume of 9-volume manual from the middle, it's all useless. Luo Feng was panicking. Useless. No matter how he tried to go back and forth during the cultivation process, his life gene level remained stagnant. Just that little bit more. What am I supposed to do? It was his 3rd year on Redbud Island. Luo Feng sat cross-legged on the stone bridge by the pond in the courtyard of his mansion. By this point, he had finally reached the last step to completing the 9-volume manual. His Golden Horn Beast body and Remote Ocean bodies had both attained the perfect gene before they could reach the final step, so his original Earthling body was the first to have cultivated the final volume. Hua! Hua! There Luo Feng sat with his entire being emitting a sound as mighty as a surging sea. At the same time, golden threads started to form, and his skin glowed. A gigantic, mysterious, intricate picture of secret engravings appeared all over him. If Luo Feng's skin were to have been peeled off and laid flat, it would have formed a picture of secret engravings. Although it was different from the engravings of the 9-volume manual, the aesthetics were the same. Pun! Luo Feng felt a fundamental breakthrough happening to the origin of life. It seemed he had made it through the bottleneck. His life gene level had finally moved once again, albeit a small step forward. Just this one small step, however, represented a leap toward a fundamental breakthrough. A breakthrough. Luo Feng's eyes were filled with glee. I must make a trip back to my god country. Luo Feng could feel his godly body attempting to absorb the power and felt its continuous growth. On Redbud Island, there was insufficient power to absorb, so he needed to transfer back to his god country as soon as he could. He left Redbud Island quickly. In his god country, the limitless remote ocean set off tumbling waves a few hundred miles high. At the peak of the waves, a black-haired youth stood in midair, stark naked. An immeasurable amount of ocean water was surging up from beneath, as though there were countless ribbons surrounding him, continuously being absorbed by him. The black-haired youth started to grow bigger and bigger. From a height that was below 6 feet, he started to grow taller at an alarming rate. 30 feet, 300 feet, 3,000 feet. The godly power within his godly body was continuously increasing as well. The increase was more than trillions of times. It had reached an unsurpassable stage that was tumultuous and frightening. When he became a towering figure standing at a height of over 55,000 miles, the growth finally stopped. "As of today," said Luo Feng, "my original earthling body and my golden horned beast body shall be my main battling powers." Luo Feng smiled. His original body's godly being was very pure, but it was small. As a result, he had been unable to use "I am the universe." But now, his original earthling body and his golden horned beast body matched in size. Naturally, it was able to display greater powers. Just like when displaying golden light, the ultimate technique of a universe master, he did not need to worry about his godly body being overly used up. "It's time to pay Primal Chaos City a visit," he said. "That cutting pearl sword is now too weak for me." First and foremost, Luo Feng headed to Primal Chaos City in the Primal Universe. He gathered together his cutting pearl sword and a large quantity of ordinary true treasures he had obtained from all the hunting he did on the original star. Then he added on 20-odd true treasures from the treasure vault and Blood Cloud Palace and calculated a total. Lastly, he added on the remaining true treasure points that he had to trade for a top-tier true treasure blade, Sorrowful 9 Snow. The blade was originally named Sorrowful 9 Snow, but Luo Feng gave it a new name. Thus, it became known as Ghost Blade. Black Sky, Silver Dragon, Dark Thorn. The 100+ true treasures in the treasure vault are what Master has left for you special life forms, but all those fellows still need a long time to grow up. I will take part of the total now, and I will return them in the future. Now that the bug soldiers, automaton race, and demons alike were so eager to take him down, Luo Feng was feeling the pressure, too. He needed to become even stronger. This was for the better. With the Pinnacle True Treasure Force armor activated to the third form, where enemies' attacks were reduced to only 1/10,000 their original power, and a godly body that was 55,000 miles tall, his survival skills had attained an alarming level. If he were to battle with a universe master, a mere senior true treasure blade was obviously too weak. He left his god country and returned to Redbud Island. Golden Horn Beast body took off from the pictures of secret engravings and continued to stay in the god country to study the secret engravings on Star Tower. On Redbud Island, Luo Feng stayed in silent retreat to continue increasing his comprehension of the beast god path. After all, the more one could comprehend about the beast god path, the more beneficial it was in attaining more in the field of secret engravings. And with such peaceful days, it was little wonder that within the blink of an eye, 61 years had done by on Redbud Island. "Look!" Luo Feng showed up, and he south flying toward the square in front of the palace of the island owner. Two undying fighters of the demon race were chatting in one of the palaces, but they stared at Luo Feng, who was flying in the distance. Their task was to monitor his every move. After a short while, Luo Feng went into the water curtain and disappeared, and the two undying fighters began reporting. Expression: smile. Wearing silver armor. They checked each other's notes before they made a detailed report. The undying fighter with a gray shell on his back said in a hoarse voice, "It's been so many years, and all the powers in the universe know that our race, the bug race, and the automaton race want to kill that Luo Feng. However, nothing has happened. We all know Luo Feng has the power of a top-tier universe overlord. If we don't do it quickly, we won't be able to do anything if he becomes a universe master. We can't blame our race. Luo Feng has been hiding on Redbud Island. What can we do about it?" A black eye was staring at the square. "Strange. Why is Luo Feng still at the 5th level on the beast god path?" The ranking was clear on Redbud Island. All those at the 3rd level of the beast god path were in the same ranking, and all those at the 4th level were at the same ranking. Luo Feng had entered the 5th level 62 years ago. Apparently, he was still practicing the 5th level on beast god path. It made him look powerful, but a top-tier universe overlord needed to be at least at the 7th level. "Stupid! He is at the 5th level on the beast god path. Do you know how much he has achieved on the path of space and time? Perhaps he has almost finished it and become a universe master. Makes sense. But how did he improve so much in such a short time? Who knows? But if he didn't, there's no need to kill him now. Look, he came out." The two undying fighters of the demon race stared at Luo Feng and kept monitoring every one of his moves. They might be able to extrapolate some important information based on the messages on the surface. Luo Feng was flying back to his palace. At least 100 candidates are spying on me, thought Luo Feng with a smirk. All the candidates from other powers wrote. Luo Feng smirked at someone. I might be able to complete the 5th level after a year or two. It only took him half a month to complete the 4th level, which represented Beast God Claw. However, the 5th level represented Beast God Horn, which was more intricate, and hence, it took more time. Luo Feng went to the land of inheritance one every 2 or 3 months. After 62 years, he almost finished the 5th level. Besides, advancing on the path of Beast God also made it easier for Luo Feng to create techniques using engraving pictures, and he even got inspirations when studying Star Tower and created a pinnacle technique of Universe Masters and an ultimate technique of Universe Overlords named Golden Mountain and Level Mountain, respectively. The incredible techniques Luo Feng had created were ultimate techniques of Universe Masters, Golden Light, a pinnacle technique of Universe Masters, Golden Mountain, and 2 ultimate techniques of Universe Overlords, Mist, and Level Mountain. Of course, these were not important compared to studying Star Tower. Although he had created 2 incredible techniques, Luo Feng was still only able to utilize the 1st level of engravings on Star Tower. As for the 2nd level, he had understood most of them, but it would still take him some time before he could utilize the 2nd level. I'm only able to use the 1st move of Star Tower, Pierce. As for the 2nd move, Smash, I might need to completely understand the 2nd level of the engravings to fully wield its power. Luo Feng dove toward his palace and continued his peaceful life. He knew it was a short moment of peacefulness before a storm came. The human race was also following Luo Feng. At the moment, Long Yen Master and Primal Chaos City Leader were talking. It's okay. Luo Feng has been staying on Redbud Island, and it's safe for him to do so. Chaos, why did you let him go out? It's safest for him to stay in Chaos City. It'll still be dangerous for him to go out of the human territory. Even in the Ancestral God School, great beings of the Bug Race, the Demon Race, the Automaton Race, and the Northern Territory Alliance might cooperate with each other and attack Luo Feng. I wouldn't have stopped him as he insisted on going out. He has a soul-type true treasure, and he has an incredible mind and willpower. Even if he runs into dangers he can't deal with, he can explode himself, as he has the clone technique. There's nothing to worry about. Long Yen Master was right to be concerned. The Bug Race, the Demon Race, and the Automaton Race had been nervous because Luo Feng kept staying on Redbud Island. They didn't dare to send a Universe Master there, as they would definitely be annihilated by 5-color Aurora Lake. It was not worth it to sacrifice a Universe Master to do that. Damn it. Is that human Luo Feng going to stay on Redbud Island forever? He has been on Redbud Island for a long time, but nothing has happened. All he needs is practice, and he must be wanting to finish comprehension on Redbud Island. He has that kind of power. Though he hasn't achieved much on the Beast God path, he has almost reached the perfect level on the path of space and time, and that's why he uses the Beast God path as a reference. Perhaps he might make a breakthrough by studying different paths. We can't waste our time anymore. The longer we delay, the better it'll be for Luo Feng. All 3 pinnacle races got nervous. They wanted to wait for Luo Feng to leave Redbud Island by himself, but it had been 62 years. In the sky, 3 entities pierced through the distance in the space and arrived at a starry sky. There were 3 blurry, towering beings. One of them was breathtaking, and there were halos around it. The being itself could make a universe night hallucinate. A phantom of a giant oval was floating. There was another being that looked like tens of thousands of snakes, and a giant silver snake head was looking around. The sky around it was twisted into whirlpools. Dream Tea, where is Shockhorn? Said the giant black oval. I'll represent our demon race, said the silver snake's head. Their voices immediately transmitted to the other 2 sides, as if the original operation law was rendered useless here. Automaton, you called me in the Bug Race here. Both Bug Race Empress and I are here. Let us talk. Speak, Automaton. Okay, said the black oval. A little one named Luo Feng rose within the human race. His power has been surging fast, and there'll be another great being within the human race if we let him roam free. Besides, he has clone technique, and it'll be difficult for us to kill him in the future. We must kill him as soon as possible. Of course we must, the breathtaking being said. But how? He is in the center of Ancestral God School. Even Universe Masters will be killed by that 5-color Aurora Lake. Besides, we'll be messing with the ancestral god's school if we send someone in and break its law. The repercussion will be more catastrophic than having another primal chaos city leader in the human race. In the original universe, the ancestral god school is the guardian of the Operation Law, and nobody can outpower it. I agree with what the Empress said, the Silver Snakehead said. We want to kill him too, but how? If none of us want to become enemies of the ancestral god school, we just need to ask a lone universe supreme master to do our bidding, the Black Oval said. We're afraid because we have our race to worry about, but those lone ones don't need to worry. So what if they kill Luo Feng at the center of the ancestral god school? Lone universe supreme masters? Both the breathtaking figure and the silver snake head were hesitant. It's going to cost a lot, the breathtaking being said. Asking a lone universe supreme master to kill a peerless genius at the center of the ancestral god school, the silver snakehead said. It'll upset both the ancestral god school and Hugh Jacks. Though those lone ones don't care, it'll be costly to ask them. Each of you, give me 3 top-tier true treasures. I'll do it, the Black Oval said. 3 top-tier true treasures? Both the breathtaking being and silver snake head were hesitant. The breathtaking being said, even if you had 3 more top-tier true treasures, they'll be worth a pinnacle true treasure. 1 pinnacle true treasure might not be enough to convince a universe supreme master to do such things. Who are you going to ask? Sitting Mountain guest? Shihua Island leader? That's not your concern. Just give me 3 top-tier true treasures each, and I'll ask a universe supreme master to do it. If I fail, I'll give them back. I don't need to lie for those top-tier true treasure. Okay. Sure. Luo Feng's life is worth 3 top-tier true treasures. Both of them agreed. Great. The giant black oval disappeared, followed by the other 2. The sky turned peaceful again. Nobody could have known that 3 of the greatest beings in the universe had just held a conversation there. On a life planet within a domain of the human territory. A hunchbacked and green-skinned elderly human who sported an antenna on his head stood in one of the back alleys of a bustling city, addressing a drunken human youth. The green-skinned elderly human said in a hoarse voice, "My child, you are so young, so full of vitality. You have such a bright future ahead of you. Are you so void of fighting spirit to want to drink yourself into a stupor like that?" The drunken youth slouched against the wall while seated on the ground, his eyes filled with sorrow. He shook his head and said, "Hopeless. All hope is gone. I have racked my brains to think of ways to contribute my best, but they were simply too strong. In this city, they may not be the strongest, but they are still in a different league where ordinary, lower-class people like myself are defenseless. They have been trifling with my feelings, teasing me but not killing me. To them, I am just a toy. Life is full of miracles," the green-skinned old man said hoarsely. "Nothing is unchanging. The universe is always so mysterious and unpredictable. Anything is possible. Is that so?" The wasted youth looked at the old man, then lowered his head to indulge in his beer. The old man smiled and nodded. "Yes, anything is possible." Slightly taken aback, the youth sat in a daze, the beer bottle in his hands. The smile on the hunchbacked elderly's face widened, and within 5 short seconds, the wasted youth snapped out of his daze. He looked around with piercing eyes as sharp as an eagle. There was a vigor in him that had been absent before. Scanning his surroundings with due vigilance, he saw the ordinary back alley and the hunchbacked old man before him. His expression registered disbelief. "I," he stammered. "How can I be back to where I was 100,000 years ago? I am already a sector lord. How can it? This is an illusion, but how can an illusion feel so real?" But, my child," the hunchbacked old man started to say. You are," the youth said. He stared at the hunchbacked old man and recognized him. "You are the old man who provided me guidance back then." "Back then? Wasn't he it just a little while ago?" The hunchbacked old man smiled, then vanished into thin air. The youth stood rooted to the spot for a long time. The wasted youth looked around and manipulated his willpower with his mind. Domain! His spiritual force might not be strong, but it was comparable to that of a sector lord. Under the guidance of his willpower, he managed to produce a weak, flame domain. Really, all of this is real? Everything that happened is real. Is it true that I have cultivated up to the stage of a sector lord? But why am I back to the most painful time of my life? Have I traveled back in time? No. The youth was different from before. He had cultivated the heart of a great being. Even if I could turn back time, I would still be unable to travel to the past. That is to say, I have experienced an illusion. But what illusion is this, where I can live in it for 100,000 years? And become a sector lord? And to have comprehended part of the universe laws? Eyes widened in fear, the drunken youth looked around him and shouted repeatedly, "Senior! Senior! Senior!" However, there was no one around. The youth shook his head. "What a pity, I missed a great opportunity. If I had followed that elderly man, I think it would have been easy to become undying. This is simply unbelievable. However, I have gained quite a fair bit, too. Those bastards. I have killed you all in my illusion before. I shall let you face desperation once again." Thereafter, he left the back alley. Ho ho, the hunchbacked, single-horned elderly was still in the same spot. Seeing the wasted youth leaving, he smiled. From the beginning, the hunchbacked elderly had not moved an inch. However, if he wanted to be seen, he could make himself appear. If he did not want to be seen, the other party would not be able to see him. 1. A forceful power transcended the limitless space and suddenly landed on this planet in the back alley. The surrounding space became slightly distorted. An elliptical black sphere appeared in the back alley, and it spoke. "Stone, you are a devil master," the black sphere said. "Even universe masters fear you, and yet you are in the mood for helping this young fellow." The hunchbacked old man grinned. "If you want me to kill, I shall kill. If you want me to rescue, I shall rescue. If you want me to bestow, I shall bestow." If earlier on, in the back alley, that young fellow had knelt and pled earnestly, if he had asked to see me, I would have killed him right away. The hunchbacked old man turned to look at the elliptical black sphere and said, "Automaton, this is the human territory. What purpose does your conscious mind have for being here? There is something going on." The elliptical black sphere was hovering in midair. The surrounding space was very unstable. Indistinctly, the request could be heard. "I am engaging you to kill a young fellow. Is he strong?" the hunchbacked old man said. "The human, Luo Feng," the elliptical black sphere said. "Luo Feng?" The hunchbacked old man nodded. "I know that young fellow. When he just returned from Universe Ocean, news about him was widely spread and sought after. No wonder you are here. You automaton race, bug soldiers, and demons are all after him. Tell me, where is he now?" "The Ancestral Gods School, Redbud Island," the elliptical black sphere said. "The Ancestral Gods School?" The old man was no longer as calm and laid back. His eyes focused on the black rays flashing faintly. "Automaton, I am not bothered about huge axe. I am happy to kill that young fellow for you. But if he is in the core grounds of the Ancestral Gods School asking me to kill a candidate of theirs while he is on the grounds of the Ancestral Gods School is a suicide mission. I've heard that the Ancestral Gods School has bestowed him with valuables, which shows how much they value him. I have helped you before." The black sphere transmitted its voice from afar. "This time, we can call it quits. I owed you one," the hunchbacked elderly replied in his hoarse voice. "All right, you have my word. Tell me all the details you know about him." The power of a top-tier universe overlord's godly body would probably be comparable to the rare special life forms, and he has the talent technique of dividing bodies. The black sphere continued. "Just annihilating one of his godly bodies is useless. You need to penetrate the soul and bring all the godly bodies to complete destruction. Or you can make use of soul control. But the difficulty of using soul control is obviously much higher. Stone, you are a universe supreme master of the School of Illusions. If you are unable to succeed, then no other great being in this primal universe would be able to." "All right, I will set off now," said the old man. "I know all of you must be waiting so impatiently. I will be waiting for good news then," the elliptical black sphere replied. Hua! The two disappeared together one after the other. A slight tremor shook the surrounding space, then everything resumed normality. The ordinary humans of this city were completely unaware of everything that had just happened. In the Ancestral God's secret region, in the void space surrounding Five-Color Aurora Lake, an entirely black life form was standing in the void space. There was a black aura surrounding it in winding paths, enveloping his entire being. Only a pair of black eyes could be seen, albeit indistinctly. "The human Luo Feng? Meriting a Universe Supreme Master to engage another Universe Supreme Master to kill you, you should be proud of yourself." Redbud Island. Luo Feng's mansion was designed like a Jiangnan garden, boasting features like small bridges and rivers, airy pavilions, and pagodas. Luo Feng was seated at the table of one of the pagodas, sipping wine as he pondered the beast god path. He really enjoyed the peaceful days where he could devote himself to cultivation wholeheartedly, yet he knew that in the Ancestral God's School, he only appeared to be safe and sound. But as time passed, bug soldiers, demons, and the automaton race alike were losing patience. As they watched him grow continuously, how would the other three pinnacle races take it lying down? They would definitely find a way to take him down. As for him, he had the talent technique of dividing bodies, and if it was only a material attack on one of his bodies to annihilate it, they would not achieve the result they wanted. If they wanted to attack, they would definitely focus on his soul. They could either permeate his soul and perish as one with it like how Soaring Star Master had died, or they could try controlling his soul. With his original earthling body making such an apparent appearance, Luo Feng did not dare to act rashly. The Soul-type True Treasure Tower Pearl and the Pinnacle True Treasure Force Armor were always with him. Force Armor also had the ability to weaken attacks on his soul. Most importantly, ordinary weaker kinds of Soul-type True Treasures would shatter when being attacked by other Soul-type treasures. But Tower Pearl was the core control center of Star Tower, and it could recognize its master. Even Supreme True Treasures could not cause it to shatter. Its defense level merely matched up to an ordinary True Treasure, but it was definitely trustworthy. Tower Pearl and Force Armor, in addition to my willpower and consciousness which were at the level of a Universe Master, Luo Feng calculated to himself. His massive godly body and limitless godly power had given him a powerful consciousness. Countless ordeals, changes of life and death inheritances, and 180 million years of cultivation had brought his willpower to the level of a Universe Master. He could count on these advantages. Luo Feng was certainly confident enough. While holding his wine glass, Luo Feng pondered the beast god path. Suddenly, he looked up at the sky and became aware that something was not quite right. Huh! The moment he looked up at the area in the sky that was enveloped by the five-color Aurora Lake, a figure surrounded by a limitless black airflow suddenly appeared. Shrouded as the figure was by the airflow, Luo Feng's view of him obscured. Only a pair of eyes could be seen. And what a pair of eyes it was! Just one look at them was enough to make Luo Feng shudder. Not good. The shudders ran deep within him, right down to his very soul, and Luo Feng understood in an instant that this was a feeling of powerlessness he had only felt in the face of Star Ancestor and Sitting Mountain Guest. It's a Universe Supreme Being, Luo Feng realized. Hua! Intangible attacks were launched. Pun! 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 300 feet above Luo Feng, a gigantic crack suddenly appeared in the sky. Wrong, it was not a crack. It was an impact brought about by the collision of two spaces. All time and space in the surroundings of the figure enveloped by the black airflow fell under his control. Even the universe laws were dismissed. The figure enveloped by black airflow was in total control over everything. And similarly, the lower space was also being controlled. One up, one down, these two spaces collided at a mere 300 feet away from Luo Feng. It was a scene more frightening than the collisions of planets. When the two spaces collided with one another, the two strong powers manipulated their own space. Wherever the two spaces collided, a crack would appear. What? Luo Feng gasped. Luo Feng was stupefied. His power far surpassed that of top-tier universe overlords and was comparable to universe masters. His willpower and consciousness were also extremely strong, so he could instantly conclude that in the lower space, there was another Universe Supreme Master. Two Universe Supreme Masters? Fighting each other? Luo Feng was at a loss for a reaction. Hua! 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 The skies above the five-color Aurora Lake were in a furious frenzy. It was Luo Feng's first time witnessing how turbulent the lake could become. What was happening to the vast five-color Aurora Lake was a sight resembling that of heavenly lakes collapsing in an instant. Long, abundant rays of light came swooping down toward the space below, surging at the black, misty figure. The black, misty figure did not budge an inch. Instead, a furious roar of rage was heard. "Ancestor God!" the figure roared. "Are you going to stop me? Virtual real devil master!" a booming voice replied. "This is the territory of my ancestral god school.